So before I start my poem, I'd just like to say something, because, apparently it's in fashion to say something about my poem. And Roger, I hope you're hearing this. There are two reasons why I chose this poem. One was fairly simple, because Roger made me. The other is kind of more deep and meaningful, and I guess it's because it reminds me of someone in this community that's kind of means a lot to me, and I guess it's sort of for them. So, without further ado, I will recite In Which I Do Not Fear Harvey Dent by Brenna Twohy. The best part of having superpowers is that most of the time, other people don't even know that you have them. Like when Peter Parker goes paintballing, people just think he's a really awesome paintballer, and he totally gets away with using his spidey senses. And when Aquaman is on OkCupid, and he says, I spend a lot of time thinking about global warming, people just think he's a really conscientious dude. And on the days that I get out of bed and put on appropriate workplace attire, people can't tell that right then, at that moment, I am using my superpowers. Anxiety is your body's response to perceived danger, and mine is so strong, you'd have to call it a superpower. It never gives up. It's always looking for a fight. It is the fiercest part of me. When Rogue found out what her touch could do to anyone who got close to her, she crafted herself a costume to keep anyone from ever touching her skin. After I did not die for the second time, I learned how to make this urgent flame look like a lantern, how to make this hurricane alarm come out like a poem. If you think I am brave, it is because you have not seen me out of costume, wouldn't even recognize me outside of this armor. I know what my touch can do to people around me, to the lover who said, I just can't handle you when you get like this. There's a reason that panic attacks are not called panic fair fights. They come for you when you're sleeping, when you're in the grocery store, when you're making love with someone and it could not be more perfect. They're the worst kind of villain, creeping in unnoticed until you're surrounded, until you can imagine no superpower that could overcome it, until you have to explain to the doctor, it's not that I have mental illness, it's just that I have trouble breathing when I leave the house. When you have mental illness, society tells you that your only superpower is invisibility. That they would help you if only they could see you. But they cannot see you, no matter how brightly you see your cape. I've spent years, just like Spider-Man, thinking that the best way to protect the people who love me would be to leap off a tall building. Invisibility is not a superpower. It is the best weapon of a broken system, desperate to make their streets look clean. The worst part of having superpowers, however, is that most of the time, people don't even know that you have them. This heavy thing that your body was not built to hold. If you think I am brave, just wait till you see me out of costume. I know what it is like to fight monsters. I know what it is like for an ordinary human being. Thank you.